I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing. Keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And if forever I'll follow, you'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow.
Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something super exciting. I finally was able to dig into the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection face palette. I've had this for about a month and I've been absolutely dying to use it. I hold this is so dear to my heart just because like it's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. It is limited edition. There's a crazy hype on it right now. I think it's completely sold out everywhere and it will not come back, but I may or may not have an extra one that I may or may not want to give away to one of my awesome subscribers. So please stay tuned and keep on watching. So the face palette actually comes with a sample of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. So I'm going to use this as my primer today. It does have a really pretty sheen to it. It smells nice. It has a little bit of a scent to it, but too bad. I do really like the texture of that primer and it leaves a nice kind of silky finish to the skin. I really like that. And to fill in pores, since that backlight priming filter really doesn't kind of fill in pores, I'm just going to use my Dr. Brandt Pores No More just in the T-zone area. I use the tiniest little bit of this, like less than a pea-size amount. If I put any more, my skin looks really dry. Really need to get my hair out of my face. I don't know why I did it for this video. I'm trying to be so extra for Jaclyn right now. Like, I can't let you down. Okay, so now that my hair is out of my face and we can work without hair getting everywhere, I'm taking the much anticipated, this is the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Face Palette. I have opened it a million times and gazed at it and looked at it, but I have not touched it. Let me just let you guys take that in for a second. Packaging is super just luxurious. It looks like it would be like super heavy, but it's really not. It's very lightweight, but it's just very thick. Everything is really shiny gold. It has like a really kind of thick, profile much. Okay, so I really want to make things really hard for myself, so I'm going to try to use all these for my eyeshadow look today as well. So of course, like always, we're going to be priming our eyelids, and I like to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I actually learned this tip from Jaclyn Hill like years ago watching her videos, so thanks Jaclyn. And I'm going to steal a few shades out of the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette just to take this white matte shade to set this base I just put down. And then I'll be taking this Courtney shade here as my transition shade. I always recommend for most eyeshadow looks using a transition shade, which is just kind of a shade a little bit darker than your skin tone, and this will just help the blending process for all the darker shades that you'll be adding in. And now I'm taking the dark blush from this palette and I'm going to use this to darken up my crease. It's not overly pigmented, which is great for a blush. Not necessarily wonderful for an eyeshadow, but we're doing what we can here. I honestly feel like that shade is Courtney from the Jeffree Star palettes, like older sister with a tan. Now I'm taking my MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extended Eye Base, and I'm going to put this on my lid. I have hooded eyes, so I always do this step before adding any kind of shimmery or metallic shadow on my lids because otherwise it will just transfer onto the matte shadows. And while that's still wet, I'm going to take Prosecco Pop and I'm going to use this as my lid shade. I'm going to take more of that and I'm going to wet it with my Smashbox primer water. You can use any kind of setting spray. Heck, you can use water. This will just give it a more pigmented, kind of foiled effect. So now that we have our gold lid on, I'm going to take that darker blush again. What is the name of that? So let's figure that out. The darker blush shade I keep speaking of is called Amaretto. Amaretto. And I'm going to try to darken it up even more on the outer crease. And now, because I'm just terrified to ruin this, I'm going to do my wing liner off camera and I'll be back. So we have our wings on. I did my kind of wing that I like to do a lot of time for hooded eyes. If you want to see something on that, just let me know. I used to do it a lot. Sometimes I do a full-blown wing. Sometimes I kind of do the half wing. Just depends how I'm feeling that day. But now we're going to get into the face. I'm going to use the foundation I use all the time, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This one is in the shade Vanilla, and I'll be mixing it with the Becca Jaclyn Hill Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid Champagne Pop. I use the liquid opal from Becca all the time. I've used it almost every single day that I've done makeup since I've had it. So I'm so excited to try this one. The packaging is so cute on the outside. It has Jaclyn's little face here. I'm just going to take a couple pumps of my foundation and I'm going to take our liquid champagne pop. Alright. I was going to just do one, but let's go ahead and do 2 pumps of the liquid champagne pop because, you know, why the fuck not? So I'm just going to swirl this around like a little cocktail on the back of my hand. I can already tell it gives a really nice luminosity that I'm so excited to get on my face. So I'm going to go ahead and tap this little cocktail on my face. That gives a really pretty, healthy, and kind of natural glow to the face. So I'm going to go off camera, finish some more of my makeup, and then come back to finish the eyes and do our face highlighting. So I'm back after kind of cream, highlighting, and powder contouring my face. And now we need to go in with our blush. And I'm going to be taking from the face palette this beautiful blush. Gosh, that is so pretty. Such a pretty pink. And the sheen that it gives is gorgeous. I absolutely love a blush with a glow. It just gives like a really youthful look to the face. Okay, and now for our face highlight, I'm going to take Champagne Pop, which I've used a million times, but I am pretty fair. I'm kind of scared to use the gold. I'll probably add it in a minute, but let's first start with Champagne Pop. And I'm using this on this little duo fiber brush from e.l.f. I've been using this for my highlight lately. I really like how this brush applies highlight. I don't know why. Yes, hunty. Gonna also take this above the brow. Let's add some more dewiness. I keep feeling like I'm using my full face of highlighters challenge like into my daily life now. And I'm just going to take my little pinky and dip in to do my nose highlight. Cupid's bow. And I know Jaclyn Hill really likes to mix champagne pop and Prosecco pop, so I'm going to be mixing both just to add another layer, you know. Just see what that's looking like. Damn! Oh, shit. Prosecco pop is not playing no games right now. Becca has, without a doubt, my favorite highlight formula. Like, it just gives the smoothest texture out of all the highlighters I have. The Balm's highlights are very smooth as well, but Becca's top notch. Kind of blend that in with our blush brush where it hits the blush. That is absolutely stunning. And it is so, like, loud and proud, and that's what I like. I want my highlight to be like, I want to be seen across the fucking parking lot. I'm also taking a smaller pointed brush and I wet it with some setting spray. I'm going to take Champagne Pop and I'm going to brighten up our inner corners of the eye. Yes, hunty. I have used Champagne Pop as a eyeshadow many times. I've done a tutorial with it before. I did have to build up Prosecco Pop on the lid just a bit, but hey, you gotta do that with a lot of eyeshadows, so I'm not mad at it. And we're gonna finish up the eyes. I'm going to go in with this blush that we haven't touched yet. This is called, here I go forgetting the damn names again. I mean, can you do anything right, Michelle? Seriously. The shade I use as a blush is Rose Spritz, or Rose Spritz, one of those that has one of those little dashes, so I'm assuming it's Rose Spritz. And the shade I'm about to use on my lower lash line is Pamplemousse. Yes, I did say that correctly. I remember Jaclyn Hill saying it on her Snapchat. Pamplemousse. And I'm taking this really vibrant blush and I'm using this as my eyeshadow on my lower lash line. And I am wanting to drag this down because I'm wanting this to be a pretty big pop of color. Again, it's not the most like pigmented. I mean, it has great pigment, but it's not like the pink in the Jeffree Star palette or anything, but that's amazing since it's a blush and not an eyeshadow, so that's the good news. So I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. So I'm back with all my face makeup on and I'd have to say, we looking pretty glowy. I'm not sure how well the primer actually worked that came with the palette. Of course, it was just a sample. It's not really what we're reviewing today. But I did like the way it felt on my face. I just don't know like how it's looking because I mean I just over highlighted the shit out of my face. As far as the liquid highlight, I already know I love the formula of the Becca liquid highlights. Like I said, I've been using Opal a ton already, so this is just a lighter shade that actually kind of works for my skin tone a little bit better than the Opal, so that is great. So glad that I was able to get my hands on this. I actually think this is not limited edition. It may be permanent. I'll list it in the description box, but if you can't get your hands on this and you are a lighter skin tone, and you guys, this palette is literally like this is my life now. This is all that matters. It is freaking gorgeous. I'm actually in love with every shade in here and I actually think I'll get a ton of use out of all of them. We'll first start with the blushes. The blush I used today is absolutely gorgeous. It's just so youthful and fresh looking. Love this. The darker one I used as an eyeshadow today, but when I have a tan, this will be a bomb as a freaking blush, or even when you're not tan, you can use it. You just want to kind of use it more like on the back of your cheeks. That way it doesn't look too muddy or anything like that. But that is a gorgeous shade. It worked great as an eyeshadow. The only thing that I didn't love as an eyeshadow was Pamplemousse, only because a lot of powders irritate my eyes and my eye is irritated. I have a little bald spot right here where my eyes have been tearing, but that's pretty typical. There's a lot of high-end eyeshadows that I can't use on my eyes, but as far as a blush, I bet it would be gorgeous. And then for the highlights, obviously you guys see me use Champagne Pop a ton of times. It's freaking gorgeous, and it's like taken over the highlighting scene, which the highlighting scene is intense right now. You know, it's real. Champagne Pop, amazing, and then Prosecco Pop is gorgeous. I actually didn't think I'd be able to use that on my face today, and I was able to use a ton of it, and I think it looks really, really good. It's definitely more on the gold side. I probably wouldn't use Prosecco Pop by itself as a highlighter until I get a little tanner, or if I get a little tanner, but mixing it with Champagne Pop like Jaclyn kind of suggested, and she said that that's what she does, I think it's gorgeous. I know the hype on this baby is like intense right now. I think there's only like a couple more out, like period. Like a couple stores may have like one, and they have like a hashtag like finding champagne collection or something crazy right now. But I do want to let you in on a little secret. Like I mentioned in my last haul, I had a time getting these palettes, so I was able to get my hands on 3. So here's one, and this is one I used on myself today. The second one I gave to my niece for her graduation, and then the third one is just sitting here in my room, and it's bubble wrap and has never been touched or opened or anything. Thinking I may do a giveaway. Actually, I know I'm going to give away. That's why I bought it. But I'm so freaking excited to give this away to one of my subscribers. Like, over the moon. I will make another video explaining everything about the giveaway. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be like epic, life-changing. Don't hold your breath, because it might be a few days. Shit's about to get real up on this channel. That's all I know. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I always appreciate it. I've really gotten to know some of my subscribers here lately. It's just been awesome to be able to talk to you guys and follow you on Snapchat. And I can see a little bit of your life, and you can see a little bit of mine. If you look in the description box, you can see how to find me on all social medias. I haven't got a Twitter yet, because everybody's taking my fucking name that I want. So we're still working on that. On all other basic social medias, you can find me. We can be friends. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the giveaway. Yay! And the actual packet. And the actual... What the fuck? And while it's still wet, I'm going to use Prosecco Pop. And while it's still wet, I'm going to take Prosecco... And while the base is still wet, I'm taking Prosecco Pop by... And while it's still wet, I'm using Prosecco... And while it's still wet, I'm taking Prosecco... What the fuck? And so if you look in the description box... What the fuck? Hey guys, welcome back. So today, doing something, of course, really exciting. That's what I would say. Guys, so today is an amazing day. I finally got to touch... Let's just see how it works, and I may or may not have information about an upcoming giveaway. I don't know. Maybe I just have to keep watching.